You by Sure.
Well, as we look out from the TT Grandstand in the shop here, well, it's normally the Sure shop when we're here for TT, but at the moment it is an exhibition of photographs that celebrate the 40 years of the Manx Grand Prix newcomer races. And we're just looking around a little bit early on. Let's have a look. I've been in here a week, to be honest with you. We're having a good look around them. There's names on there. Well, let's have a little look. 1983, Steve Hislop. Okay, yeah, he's on there too. Ian Locker on there, of course, racing here at the Classic TT. James Whittam. Jim Hunter, of course, is a travelling marshal, and his son Jack is racing here too. Gary Ratcliffe is there too, good Manx lad. Norman Neen, part of the Neen family over here. A lot of Manx names in there. Rob Brew and Dave Ashton. Paul Orrit as well, that very famous man who had that big tank slapper down Bray Hill all those years ago that stopped the TT that year. Duncan Muir, now he was a cracking rider, was Duncan Muir as well. Really, really good rider. Dan Sale, of course, and was one of the most winningest sidecar passengers, and of course a solo rider all around here, the mountain circuit. Ollie Linsdell, and who we got there? Camel Holan as well, yeah. The first continental rider to win a Manx Grand Prix. So we're here for the Festival of Motorcycling, and this morning joining us on the chat show, we haven't got Christy De Haven for those who are just tuning in. Christy's not here. We've sent her off.
I've been replaced.
No. We've sent her off to the colonies. That's what we've done. We've sent her away. We've sent her on holiday. Just let her have and let you have a go at this at talking to these motorbike chaps.
I'll give it a go. It'll be all right.
Good morning to, well, we've got a bit of a down under thing going on this morning.
We certainly have.
We have, and then we've got a Midlander coming in a bit later on. We've got Josh Brooks in this morning. Dave O'Johnson is supposed to be in at 8:30, but he's here incredibly early, so we'll use you while you're here, David. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. You all right?
Yeah, good, thank you.
You're good, yeah, good man. And Josh Brooks, good morning to you, sir.
Yes, good morning.
I'm just absolutely shocked and staggered that the moustache has come.
Well, it raised £3,000.
I know it raised,
but
it's just you, though. It's you now. It lives with you forever.
Oh, that's a worrying thought.
It was just a passing change. I do think it's just to get reaction. You know, the more people that said you should shave it off, the longer I kept it for. But I got sick of it. I was going to shave it off, and then thought we could raise money for a charity if we.
What charity was it?
It was for Movember.
Oh, brilliant. Okay, that's good. Yeah, there's a few people that worked on that over the year, hasn't it? Over the years.
I haven't done it.
I wasn't going to say that anyway. I was not going to say that. But Movember's a good cause. Obviously, a lot of people do it, and I've seen some weird and wonderful ones. But did you see Josh's ones?
I did. It was pretty incredible. It was quite incredible.
I think David Johnson. Can you grow a moustache, David? Can you? Can you
Not that good.
Not that good. It was incredible. Boys, it's been a trying week, hasn't it, for all the riders, all the officials, all the marshals, all the people selling the T-shirts, everybody. It's just been... After TT, when it was bacon hot and everybody's complaining they were getting sunburned, it's just been the complete opposite. I mean, you boys, what do you do to deal with that sort of thing, David? What do you do? You're quite a relaxed sort of chill chap.
I've done a lot of sleeping. There was one day I didn't get out of bed till 1 in the afternoon, but I was sitting there just watching TV, and you can just watch the updates on your phone and just work out whether or not I need to get up. And if anyone asks me to get up, I will. But but yeah, a lot of sleeping. Probably too much because I can't sleep at night time then.
Well, there you are, you see. That's a kind of reverse effect. I forgot what a lion is. Can't remember the last time I had one. And Josh, what have you been doing? Because you only got here, obviously, from BSB at the weekend. I think you got here Monday or whenever it was.
That's right, yeah, Monday.
Just chilling out?
Yeah, well, I mean, spending loads of time in the awning with the guys working on the bike and, you know, looking over everything. You can only check everything so many times.
And this is the Norton again, isn't it?
Yeah, the rotary Norton. So, there's only so many times you can check everything and double check and reposition stuff, and you know, I mean, and after that, you sort of just got to wait until you get a chance to ride it and hope that all the checks and that pay off and the bike runs perfectly and you get round. But so far we haven't had that opportunity.
Well, let's hope we will this afternoon. Just a reminder about the little change to the road closing on. It's not going to be 12:30, that's going to be 1:30, because there's obviously we have the crematorium opposite here at the TT Grandstand, and there is a service that has to be on there today. If you'd like to get in touch with us this morning, Young Beth, how do we do that? Young Beth, do you like that?
Oh, I do quite like that, actually.
Okay. How do you get in touch?
You can keep that little nickname. You can text 166 177, just start your message with TT. You can also email us here in the studio@radiott.com. Also follow the Manx Radio TT Facebook page, and we are on Twitter as well. So if you've got any questions for the boys down here this morning, then do get in touch and let us know. Any messages of good luck for people, wherever you're listening in the world, we want to hear from you.
And of course, we are Facebook streaming live too. If you want to go to the Manx Radio TT Facebook page, it's all on there in its glory. Now, it's a very special year this year, you two guys. I mean, you'll both be aware, being bike fans yourselves, about Mike Halewood. You know, 1978. Hands up if you were born in this room in 1978. Oh, no. Don't put your hand up, Betty. Yeah, I was the only one here. And I tell you exactly where I was, and I've said this before. I was at the top of St Ninian's there, just where the school finishes. And there obviously wasn't all the tents and out there. Then you was at the gate, and there's just a metal rail. I can picture the metal rail now. I remember it being very rusty because it hadn't been painted for a while, getting rust all over my hands. And my dad and my mum, think it was, going nuts about it. Yeah, and I was there, and it was bonkersly busy. And being only the little chap that I still am now, I could get to the front, and you could see, and it was just like, wow, that's fast. Not incredible the speeds you boys are doing now, but still darn fast. 1978, chaps. I mean, I think the day that the Isle of Man cried when Mike Hailwood won that race. I mean, have you got any thoughts about Mike Hailwood, Josh?
Yeah, it's iconic what he did. You know, the time he had off and then came back and won. You know, I mean, I can only imagine even you as a young kid would have felt the atmosphere of the significance of it. You know, it was you know, we obviously only read about it, but yeah, it's incredible what he did.
What he did, and all those races he won over the years as well on those, you know, the MVs and the Hondas and that, and then, like I said, take a bit of a break. He was down under for a while, wasn't he? Doing a load of car racing down. Was it Australia, New Zealand? He was around that sort of area doing car racing. David, do you know that he was down there doing a bit of that? I know he moved out there, you see, to help out because he had that many injuries, like you bike racers have, and he went down to a bit of a warmer climb just to help him just a little bit.
Yeah, and he also used to do all the Castrol 6 hour and yeah, there was one in Adelaide and there was another one at Amaru Park, and he used to do a lot of good stuff in Australia, but yeah, he had a good dabble at the old car racing and sort of.
He did Formula 1 too, didn't he?
Yeah.
And he I think he was. Do you know what? Something wants to say he was driving for the Lotus team. I don't know why that wants or the Brabham team. It was one of those, and I've read the books, I've done it all, but it's just gone out of the head. It's a bit early in the morning to be thinking about things. But yeah, I mean, for a guy, I mean, there's not many people. John Surtees, another case in point, 2 wheels and 4 wheels. You know, there's not many people. I know Valentino Rossi has had a little dabble in the Ferrari. I know he talked about it. He's done a bit of rallying too. Michael Dunlop's done a bit of rallying too. He's got a lovely Ford Escort Mark II. I don't know if you've seen any picture of that. It's really, really nice. The Ford Escort he's got. That's a fair bit of money on that too. But we're celebrating Mike Hailwood, and there's going to be some special bikes out in the parade. I think David Hailwood's here as well. He's going to be having the Mike Hailwood bike, you know, the sports motorcycles, Ducati. You know, I think a lot of the original team that were involved in that, Mr. Wynn and all that, are going to be here, and a lot of other people helping out with that, so it's going to be good. And you're poking at things.
I'm just
yes, you have.
got Pauline Hailwood.
Oh, we have, yeah, that's right, yeah.
She's going to be joining us on the chat show.
Yeah, Pauline Hailwood. Excuse me. Steve Wynn, obviously involved in it, and some bloke called McGuinness is coming in as well.
Is it?
Yeah, I don't know. He's coming.
Not sure
in.
who he is.
Paddy McGuinness, the comedian, is not
That'll
John
be
McGuinness.
it. That'll be it.
Anyway.
Lots of people getting in touch on the Facebook page on Manx Radio TT this morning. Darryl says, good morning from New Zealand. Have a great classic. I love the fact Josh is just looking slightly bleary-eyed here. Sort of like, it's far too early for you, isn't it? Are you okay?
He's all right.
No, it's not far too early. It's just I haven't done anything for days. You know,
He's
I'm normally
bored.
like a go type person. I don't stop. You know, when there's things to do, and you know, and at the moment I don't have a lot to do.
We could find you something to do.
Yeah.
Got anything for him to do in here? Anything?
Where's the engineers?
No, I don't mean just like spontaneous things to do, but like when you've
structure.
I've normally got, you know, things to do, whether it's work on the motorhome or, you know, prepping for an event or, you know, taking part in racing or training on motocross bikes and being in the garage working with tools and things. It's just like there's normally a structured routine, and the weather really disturbs everybody and everything, doesn't it? So.
And you get that whole thing, I don't know, you get that adrenaline build up and you're expecting something to happen, then when it doesn't, it's just must be so frustrating.
I don't think any more for us than everyone else involved as well. You know, everybody experiences the same disappointment when the weather stops you from being able to do what we set out to do.
Chris Palmer's going to take umbrage with you, by the way, Dave Johnson.
Yeah,
Did you
I
hear
nearly
that
mowed
last
him
time?
down.
Nearly mowed him down, and then when you set off, he says your bike was too cold.
Oh, it was 50 something
Yeah, he
degrees.
said that's too cold. No. He's
Yeah.
a two-stroke man, and he said he watched. Who went off? Phil McGurk went off, and Phil sat there for a moment or two and got us up to about 62, 63 degrees. He said, yeah, that's fine. And when you went off, he said it was about 54, 55. He said, it's too cold. And then when it came through that you'd stopped down at Quarterbridge, he said, that's why he's probably stopped. What was the problem last night?
I don't know yet. The boys ripped it apart when it got back, but they haven't been down there yet. I think it might be the reed valves.
Oh, right.
Yeah, because it started off good, and then it just sort of went off down the hill. Excuse me. But, I just thought rather than have the pain of doing a full lap like I had to on the Norton, I was on the Manx 500. That was a very, very long lap, and it had the gearbox was jumping in and out of gear. I didn't want to do that again. That was like the longest lap of my life. So I thought I'll just pull off at Quarter Bridge and cruise through town.
How do all these rides come about for you guys? I mean, because David, you've not got no experience here on the 250, so lots of experience.
There's Buckles here. He's the one that's doing the bike. Wonder if he's fixed it yet.
Yeah, not yet. Probably be in the pub. How do all these rides come about? Because obviously Josh has got the involvement with the Norton for the last couple of years, the rotary Norton. You've obviously been here on all different sorts of machines, but how did the 250 ride come about? Because you're not known as a 250 man here.
No, I definitely don't look like a 250 man.
No.
But I used to race 125s. I actually used to race against Josh in Australia back in the old day. But John Chapman owns all those bikes, and
He's got some bikes, isn't he?
he called me up, and I think it was actually Ivan Linton rode it last year. So
And get well soon, Ivan. We know you've been moved. Ivan's been moved, for those who don't know, a little bit closer to home in Lincoln, which is good news. And he's putting updates himself on Twitter and Facebook and stuff. And his friend Danny Horn's putting stuff on too. So get well soon, Ivan. Yep.
Yeah, definitely. And Ivan rode it really well last year, and John asked me to ride it, so I was like, yeah, might as well. And I do love two strokes. I've got one. I've got a couple at home actually.
What have you got?
125 GP bike and old TZ 250, and my dad's got a 350. He's got the 250 and a 350. I'm starting my collection back there.
Oh, starting your collection. That's nearly starting to retire when you start to collect things. Beth, what have you got there quickly for us?
Loads of messages on the Manx Radio TT Facebook page. Andrew says, good luck, Davo, from Adelaide in South Australia. Ollie asks if Davo has ever Googled himself. I don't know if he's being rude or just...
Is that Ollie?
Yeah, well, shall we move on? Don says, I saw Mike Hailwood race a Ducati at Donington Park in the TT Formula 1 race. He slid off in front of us. Safe racing, lads. All the best from Stockport. And Ed asks if Josh or anyone else has had a Kit Kat without the wafer, so like a pure bar of chocolate.
Oh, wow. Yeah, we had this debate last night. That's Ed from the Wiz Norton team who I ride for. And I don't know how we come onto it, but it was we discussed it like just a chocolate finger without the wafer in there, like a Kit Kat without the wafer bit.
Okay.
And he said, have you ever had that? And we'll debate. And I said, no, it's impossible.
How would you do it? How would you do that?
It must be a mistake in manufacturing. But yeah, I don't believe it's ever been happened. But they swear that they've had a Kit Kat finger with just a solid chocolate, no wafer inside.
Would you be able to bite the ends off each end and then sort of slide the wafer out?
No. We're getting a bit technical for the morning. I don't like chocolate anyway, so that's probably me out of that one.
Oh, well. Lots of you, as I say, getting in touch. Keep those messages coming in. You can text 166 177. Start your message with TT. Email us here in the studio@radiott.com. Follow Max Radio TT on Facebook and Twitter. Lauren says, good morning from Cumbria. Hope the weather improves for you all. Stephen's saying hello, and lots of people with laughing faces. And I think James Hillier's just walked in. We'll speak to him just after the break.
Yeah.
G'day, James. He looks more tired than we do.
He does.
He doesn't
Calm and ride safe.